I went retro game hunting and I found something incredible. Let's have a look and see what I picked up. Absolutely miserable day. Absolutely miserable. Now we're going to head over to the other CeX because the other ones are not open. A few nice little N64 titles there. This store did have an Australian Zelda at one point, which I kind of wish I picked up, but sadly, no, couldn't. Not many in PlayStation or Sega that I'm really after. I did pick up this Balatro at first, but I got it on the Switch, so I wasn't really sure. One of the games I have been trying to get is Doom. And yeah, Doom's a weird one because it just can't seem to find it for a reasonable price new. So yeah, this is what CeX is for. Doom Eternal, £18 isn't so bad. Interestingly enough, this store did have Doom on the Nintendo Switch for £28, which, as you will see in a minute, is a significantly more expensive price than Doom on the PlayStation 4. I just want to play Doom, so I picked this one up. Lot of Lego games. I do want to get some of the Lego games, but again, it's one of those ones where I used to platinum them, but I stopped once Lego Undercover came out on the Wii U, and I just enjoyed playing them. They started getting a little bit too long. I do want Spyro Trilogy. However, I can't remember if it's the Switch version or the PlayStation version where one of them's on disc and the rest's all downloadable content. I want them all on disc if possible. I just need to kind of find out which one it is. Second CeX, and it didn't really have much in terms of retro games. You can see my absolutely excellent camera skills here, just shown into full effect. Yeah, not too great. They did have a few rarer titles. They have this Atelier game. I am after the Atelier games for the Nintendo Switch. They also had Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 as well, which is not a title that you see very often. I was getting a little bit suspicious of that very, very sun-faded Legend of Zelda game. I mean, that game's only been out, what, 9 months now? And that is sun-bleached to miles and back. Not really a huge amount in terms of Switch games that I was really after. But it was nice to see some at least. I do want to get this Ori title at some point as well. I think it's quite cheap brand new though. PlayStation 5, I'm after a lot of the staple titles, but if I'm honest, they're just so expensive. I remember at one point a PlayStation game that was 4-year-old would be like £7, £8. This store did have a few reprinted covers as well, which kind of put me off. I did have a look at the Celeste. I've got on the Switch, but it's one that I may consider picking up on the PlayStation as well. Death Stranding, the second one's out soon, and it has Pekora from Hololive in, so I am tempted with it. Now, this CeX was an absolute goldmine with a ton of rarer titles, and you can see there something that has instantly caught my eye, and we will be having a look at that one in the little bit in the video. N64, not much. PlayStation 4, again, they had a few titles. Tony Hawk, again, I'm not sure if this is a downloadable game or if it's all on disc. I know Activision seems to be very hit and miss on what's actually on disc and what isn't. And yeah, this one, it took my fancy, but once I actually looked at the game, I had no interest in it. I did find this one, this Neptunia vs Senran Kagura as well, which reprinted cover. They had an RPG Maker as well in the other store, which was reprinted cover, which was a huge shame because I probably would have picked that one up. Nothing for PS5 for me. Again, everything's so expensive for PS5 at the moment, just waiting for the prices just to plummet. Now, the Switch did have this Rocket League one, which I think was £15 to £18, I can't remember, but it's a 7 to 8 year old game, and the box was probably looked about 27-year-old. It looks in absolute tatters on the back. But there wasn't really a huge amount of otherwise. There was this Digimon 2-pack, but I wasn't sure if, again, it was a downloadable only thing or not. But yeah, I picked up a few titles, and yeah, it was a nice little haul. I'm going to show you and see what I picked up. Nice to be back in out of that cold, horrible weather. It's that horrible misty rain where you just get soaked even though it's hardly raining. And What a nice little thing we picked up. Now, I picked up 3 games from CeX today, and the first one is Doom. And honestly, this is a title that I've always wanted to play. I played the first 1 and 2 way back when on the PC, and it was a series that I kind of liked, but then just for whatever reason, just didn't pick up anymore. I recently picked up Doom 64 on, well, obviously the N64, but I've been trying to get back into it, and I thought, £6, you know what, you can't complain. If I'm honest, I was even tempted with the Switch edition, but that was an extra £22 on top. Of course, the Switch tax, and over time, that one being that little bit more collectible means that, yeah, it is probably worth that, but at this point in time when I just want to play the game, £6 I think is more than enough to pay. The next title is Rainbow Six on the N64. Again, this is another one that I just kind of never picked up. I've always heard good things about it, but it's never really been one that kind of has appeared in front of me. £8, you can't go wrong with it really, can you? Even if it sits on the shelf, but I've heard a lot of really good things. But if I'm honest, £8's also an amount that I'm more than happy to kind of just more or less write off and I ever decide to pick up the boxed version. Or then again, I can swap this one out. I mean, it's a little bit mucky, but it's not bad condition. After a little bit of a clean, I think we can do something nice with it. Now, the one that I'm really excited for is Mario Power Tennis. Now, this was about £25, which it's still cheaper than what this was brand new, but look at the condition on this one. As soon as I saw it, I knew this had to be in my collection, because I was never going to find this in a decent condition ever again. This is Mario Power Tennis. Now, this is a little bit of an RPG slash tennis game, and it's one that I've been looking to pick up for quite some time. A lot of these Mario Golfs and Mario Tennises on the handhelds had a full-on campaign mode on top of like just being a genuinely good title. I think because it says tennis and everything, it just kind of puts a lot of people off. But honestly, Mario Tennis on the N64 is one of my favourite sports games of all time. So I'm really looking forward to trying this one out. I think I need to get the GameCube one as well. I don't know why. I think after Mario Tennis on the N64, I just never picked up any of the other ones. And I am on the hunt for both Mario Golf and Mario Tennis for Game Boy Color, because if I'm getting a complete UK PAL N64 library, those need to be on there along with the Pokemon games. So yeah, I'm really happy to get this. And if you looked at the insides, everything was in there. Even the VIP Stars catalogue thing from way back when, those are still in there. It's got the manual. The game doesn't even look like it's being touched. To the fact that it looked that clean, I was concerned it was a bootleg. But no, it is absolutely perfect. There's a little bit of damage on this side, but let's face it, I mean, even this is a 20-year-old game. I'm not going to see this in this condition anytime again soon. And it's actually got to the point where I'm actually having to consider whether to start taking box protectors with me when I go retro game collecting. Do you guys do that? Let me know. But yeah, this is one that I'm looking forward to having to go on and playing. An absolutely insane find, in my opinion. You don't even see Mario games often in good condition. They're always like sun faded and stuff like that. There was another game that was Revenge of the Gator for the Game Boy as well, which I did pass on. Only because when I looked on eBay, I could get a full one for a little bit more. But honestly, I might sit on that one for a few weeks and go back and pick it up if I just fancy it. It's a pinball game. Again, another one of those games where you can just pick up and have a good time with. And sometimes that's all you want. I haven't picked up at this point, but did I miss out? Did I skip out on it? I mean, there were a few other titles I would have happily picked up. For example, God of War and Ratchet & Clank are both titles that are on my radar. The Senran Kagura vs Neptunia, that was another one I probably would have picked up at some point, because the Senran Kagura games are pretty fun. Etchy, but they are fun little titles. But again, repro box, and it annoys me somewhat. And it's kind of like they're charging you for basically just the disc only for them, and I'm kind of thinking, you know what, I might have a look online, see if they've got that online, if they've got it in a few different stores, but Yeah, what did you guys think? I mean, is that something you guys would pick up? I am wanting to get a bit more of an RPG collection because I love my JRPGs. So, yeah, I am tempted to maybe pick them ones up. This week's featured game is Stories from Sol, the Gun Dog. Now, this is a visual novel title in the spirit of the classic PC 9800 titles. And this one was around 10 hours long. And if you love your classic sci-fi series like Star Trek, along with space opera anime such as Mobile Suit Gundam or Macross, then this one needs to be on your list. It is a visual novel, but it's the perfect way to let the story unfold in front of you. I played this on the Nintendo Switch and honestly, I couldn't put it down. Now, while it is based on those retro games of the past, it does feel modern enough to not be constrained by the shortcomings of them previous consoles. One thing that is immensely cool with this one, however, is the graphic style, which can be switched between green screen or a colour variant. The characters in here are enjoyable enough, although I would have enjoyed spending a little bit more time with them before the mystery started unfolding. The mystery was interesting enough to keep me playing, but I did feel like the game kind of just ended. I didn't get the best ending as I made some wrong choices during the narrative, and was a little disappointed that I couldn't just jump to each scene after completion just to get the best ending. No, it requires another full playthrough. Stories of Sol is available physically on the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5, but is also available digitally on PlayStation 4 and Steam too. But, well, that's my CEX haul for this week, and I think I did well. That Mario Tennis is absolutely fantastic, and Doom is a title that I do want to play. Rainbow Six, it's another one for the N64 collection, and it's a good one. It's one that's highly rated, at least for an N64 magazine and Nintendo official magazine back in the day. So yeah, I am looking forward to checking them out. But what have you guys been picking up? Let me know in the comments. And well, I think it's time to drink tea and press start. See you online.